friends, and welcome to the Crypto Stacker channel. My name is Dean. If you're watching my videos for the first time, please know I only make them for entertainment, education, and for community building in the crypto space. Friends, today's video is about Terrarium, and to those of you who are part of the Terra tribe, a very happy Terrarium Tuesday to all of you. You'll notice if you watch my videos that I'm in a completely different location. I'm actually in the bathroom of my hotel room, which has the very best light. So forgive me, I did check the mic and it would appear that the sound should be pretty darn good. Now I'm out right now in Charlotte, North Carolina, and we're doing some training for a new business that my partners and I are opening in January. This is the business. It's called Clean Juice. It's an organic juice bar. They also do organic foods, and it's a healthy option. It's been a fun adventure that's been going on now for more than a year. As a matter of fact, last year, very distinctly, I was out here in Charlotte when the Saitama big launch party happened in Las Vegas, right before things got a little dicey there and the price tumbled pretty hard. So this is, kind of the anniversary of that. But for me, a happy anniversary in that we're now getting to the phase where we're doing the training and we're going to open this business in January and start hopefully making a run at what will be a prosperous business. So looking forward to that. All right. Sorry for the big sidebar detour there. Let's jump into Terrarium. Now you can see Terrarium in the last 24 hours has taken a pretty big hit. It's currently down about 17% at 9079. In the last 7 days, down 22%. In the last 14 days, up 3.5, almost 4, and in the last 30 days, up 10%. Now, this down spike here, the sell-off is pretty strong in the Terrarium token, but in the crypto market, it's kind of what's going on right now. We see Bitcoin in the last 24 hours down 6, Ethereum down 8.5, BNB down 6, XRP down 9, Dogecoin down 15. The other meme coin or kind of community driven token, Shiba Inu down 10.7. So it's not just unique to Terrarium, but we are taking a bigger hit. And I've kind of explained that my opinion on this in the past is that these smaller size tokens are more sensitive to what's happening and the pressures in the marketplace. So an upswing in the market could really push Terrarium in a positive direction, and it might have higher gains than what's happening in the market. And on the downside, the same thing. We may see deeper dips. So I'll kind of show you what that price means to Terrarium in terms of some historical perspective. And then we'll get into some things that are happening in the community. We have a nice independent piece, somebody not associated with the Terrarium project that wrote an article that I think is very interesting, and some that should have some good eyes on it that will hopefully bring some people to the Terrarium community. Now, if we look at what's going on with a volume perspective, you can see here in the last 24 hours, the volume has spiked up dramatically. And a lot of that coming last week, we looked at it, was coming out of Bitmart. But this week, most of that volume is actually happening in the decentralized exchange in Uniswap. So pretty big volume, the biggest we've seen in a long time, currently $370,000 of trading volume in the last 24 hours. So that should mean big things for people who like to see the burn accelerate, and for people who like reflections. I like reflections, but I more appreciate price appreciation, because the reflections can only take you so far. It is the consolation prize we get for holding the token through thick and thin. But ultimately, of course, we want to see a robust market and some price appreciation. And there can be some catalysts coming that we've been talking about for weeks that could really help the momentum in the upward direction for Terrarium's price. I'll show you some more information on that, give you my thoughts. All right. So if we jump into Terrarium's fundamentals, the first thing we see is that for the second week in a row, we've got growth in the holder count. Current holders, 10,322, up 25 from last week. So adding almost 50 in the last 2 weeks, that's unique from where it's been in the last month or so. So good to see a positive trend in the holder count. Now, on the flip side of that, our market cap, when I put this together, which is about 45 minutes ago, is down from last week to levels that we saw 2 weeks ago, 20,560,000, down about 5 million from last week, which is that 17 to 20% drop that we're seeing. So not what I want to see, but this is the game that we play with cryptocurrency. It's volatile and can be extraordinarily exciting if things are moving upwards, and it can be kind of frightening and disconcerting when prices are going negative. So it's a wild ride. I'm still in it for the ride. I've got 100% of my bag still, and hoping that things will stabilize and start moving back up. All right. The burn is currently at 73.83%, so it's ticked up another 100th there. And then the total tokens burned in the last week, 5,900,000,000,000. So a little uptick in the burn and the reflections because, like I showed earlier, we are seeing more volume out of the decentralized exchanges traded on Uniswap, and that's where the burn takes place. A lot of the centralized exchanges, the burn isn't really happening there. It happens when we add liquidity, but then that liquidity can be traded inside that centralized exchange, essentially outside of the tax system. So, all right, let's take a quick look at what's going on out in the Terrarium social space. So I'm just really going to focus today on what's going on in Milton's feed. He's got 2 tweets here I want to focus on. I'm going to start with this one because it's a little easier discussion and requires a lot less of my personal opinion, and it's more just fact-based. So Milton has tweeted out a link to a finance.yahoo.com article, and it's titled 3 cryptos that could turn $100 into $1,000 or more by 2025. Now, that's a pretty long time horizon in crypto. You know, I've been in crypto investments where $100 could be $1,000 tomorrow. They literally went up that fast. And I was in one that had a 10,000x. So $100 turned to $10,000. And then it came all the way back down. And fortunately, I captured a little bit of profit there, but by and large, I missed the opportunity because I'm more of a buy and hold person and I believed in the project. So let's take a peek at this. So this is an article, again, Yahoo Finance, by somebody named Omar Ibn Hassan. Omar Ibn Hassan. I'm sure I'm murdering it, but that's how it's going to go. This is a great article. He talks about 3 cryptos. He talks about Nano. He talks about Terrarium, and he talks about Dogecoin. And so first of all, that puts Terrarium in pretty darn good company, but he talks about why Terrarium might have explosive power. And they're the reasons that we've talked about historically in the past, the fact that Terrarium is going to be releasing its own centralized exchange, the Terrarium Exchange, and that they've got the launch pad that hopefully they'll be able to launch multiple projects from as years go by. So far, I haven't seen any updates to the TerraPool Launchpad site in terms of projects listed, and that's something that we need to keep looking for. We need to be able to get answers to those questions from the developers of what's going on there, and when do we expect to see some things launching on the TerraPool pad. Now, there is another tweet from Milton that talks about the fact that there might be something internally coming to TerraPool very soon. So we'll take a look at that next. But before we do, one of the things I really like about this article, this Omar Ibn Hassan is not in any way connected to the Terrarium project. I tried to just do a basic Google search, and it says that This Omar is a writer at Investor Place. He's an active contributor to a variety of finance and crypto related websites. He has a strong background in economics and finance and is a self-taught investor. So I just think it's nice, right? Dr. Praveen Budiga has written multiple articles. They're very well written, and I think it's a great representation for the type of leadership that Terrarium has. But what I love to see as somebody who is an investor in a project are independent people taking notice of that project and talking about the potential that it has. So nice to get an extra set of eyes on this, and we'll see hopefully more to come on that. I'm going to jump back over to Milton's Twitter feed and we'll look at this one too. These were both November 5th, so we're about 2 days out. Dear holders, we are conducting the stress test and final cosmetic details to get completed. Trust me, the launch is going to be huge. We will announce the launch date in 2 weeks. So that's from the 5th. Now, we were expecting a launch for the Terrarium Exchange in the first 2 weeks of November. So that would be within the next 7 days by the 14th. And it sounds like now we're going to move the goal line a little bit and reset some expectations. Now, my first instinct on this is to say, not my favorite, right? Okay, we want to hold people's feet to the fire, but at the same time, we have to balance that with, we don't want to release something before it's ready. Because if something drops and it's not prepared and it has all kinds of issues, and I've seen this with the projects, it's very, very difficult on the community. The community will essentially rip itself limb from limb, tear itself open from the inside out, and it's not pretty. So yes, I want to see targets met and deadlines met. And then secondary to that, I want to make sure that when we do release something, we aren't just doing it to meet a deadline, but that they're doing it when it's ready. Now, that can't be a indefinite moving the goalposts. That's not going to work for me. I've kind of been involved in that one before, and it's just more pain and trouble than it's worth, in my opinion. So I'm trusting that the developers are on the verge of getting this ready to go, that they truly are just cleaning it up, making sure that it's robust, that it's bulletproof, and then bringing it to market. So I'm going to keep following that. Thanksgiving, that's within the next 3 weeks, not really that far away, and time frame to wait. Now, the other thing that we see in the TerraPay Twitter feed, and this is about 9 hours ago, Milton had mentioned that the TerraPay official website would launch about a week and a half ago. So I've been watching for that, trying to hope that it's coming. And it does say that now that TerraPay website will be launching in the next few days. This was today, 9 hours ago, on November the 7th. And that pooling will begin next week on the TerraPool pad. So this could be the first project we see launched on the TerraPool pad. I'm not 100% sure what they're going to be raising funds for out there for TerraPay. We'll have to wait and see. I don't really like to speculate. I'm not very good at guessing. I've showed that many times in the past. So we've got a couple of deadlines coming up. These are two things that I'm glad they made an announcement about. Right? I think the only thing more disturbing than moving a goalpost is absolute silence out of the development team when we're all expecting something. So I like that they're trying to be transparent. I like that they're giving us enough information to let us know, yes, it's coming. Yes, we're working on it. And so like you, I'm going to be watching for these things. Can't wait to see the website, and hopefully the website will give us a lot more information about exactly what the TerraPay platform will look like, how it will work, and so looking forward to that. All right, folks, the last thing that I want to do today before I sign off is just show you what's going on with my reflections for the week, and then I will wish you all a good evening, a good happy Terrarium Tuesday. And of course, for those in the United States, happy voting day. If you are passionate about freedom and liberty, I encourage you to go out and vote your conscience. And I pray that the country gets the leadership that it needs to continue to give us the most freedom possible. So today, 11/7 when I prepared this, now 11/8 here on the East Coast. But my total bag, 11,181,881,000,000 tokens. It's an increase over last week of 383,668,000 tokens. So a little bit better than last week by about 90 million tokens. That brings my total since February 21st to just under 42 billion tokens in Reflections at the current prices, worth about $33. So good stuff. All right, folks. Happy voting day. I hope you're well. I hope you're happy. Don't let the crypto market, don't let the ups and downs dictate your life's happiness. It just simply isn't worth it. I saw a little bumper sticker today that said kindness is free, and that's totally true. The best things in life truly are free, but it is fun to back those with a little bit of money to have some fun with. So I wish you both love, health, happiness, and financial prosperity. Have a great day. Happy Terrarium Tuesday. Check back with me next week. We'll watch our crypto stacks grow together.